You're tuning in to Felly's Fishbowl, a marketing podcast for the entrepreneur that wants to create a feel-good business model. On this show, you'll be given the permission slip you've been missing to make that change and start building the business you originally dreamed about. Stick around for solo and interview episodes talking all things content creation and marketing. Sound good to you? Let's dive in. Welcome, my beautiful fish. You're listening to another episode of Felly's Fishbowl, and this week we're talking all about repurposed videos, repurposing video content that is repurposed. I have so many things to say about this. I know the number one question you're going to ask is about using the third-party apps to reshare your videos and resharing schedules, but I want to start with actually talking about content that is repurposed, which is what my agency, Felly Day VA, does. We take masterclasses, video podcasts, YouTube videos, lives, and we turn those into short form videos. These videos have a very, very different spot in your marketing strategy than, say, like the trend content that is blowing up all over Instagram. So I would say the majority of our clients use their videos on Instagram, but they're also very helpful for YouTube, especially if you have longer form YouTube videos yourself and you're using the YouTube Shorts as teasers or as boosts towards watching the full video. So those are the main two platforms our clients are using their repurposed videos on. Though I personally have used mine on TikTok. I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok for myself, so I can't touch on that. We'll just leave it that. We'll leave it at that. Love-hate me and TikTok. We're not best friends. Maybe one day, but it's not yet. So the value of the repurposed videos, of using your masterclasses, using your lives, and turning them into shorts or reels or whatever you want to call them, is that they are generally thought leadership content. Because they are from a longer form video where you're delivering high impact, high value, it's very easy to select clips from that, like 30-minute, 60-minute video, and turn them into these hard-hitting 15-second, 30-second quote videos where you're just like delivering. And the reason your audience loves them is because they get to see what it's like to be in your world. Whether it's they're getting an inside view of what it's like to be coached by you, or if they're seeing how you respond to questions or how your thoughts work. The repurposed videos are so powerful for your marketing strategy because of the way they position you. Yes, trend videos, they're the ones that get all the views, and they're the ones that have the potential to go viral because they're funny, because they're witty, but they don't necessarily translate to sales. They might translate to followers, but they don't go in depth the same way that a repurposed video can share your genuine thoughts. And it's that in the moment content, you know? I don't know about you, but that's why I always wanted to start a podcast, because I hear myself when I'm speaking and I hear like the magic that comes out when you're just flowing your thoughts or when you're rebounding back and forth with another another expert or your client. Like that's when you say the most impactful things, is when you're not sitting there trying to think about saying the most impactful things. That's why the scripted talking head videos aren't as impactful, in my opinion, as the way that the repurposed videos are, because you're scripted, you're thinking about it, you're maybe re-editing them in the moment, refilming to get that perfect sentence, to do the right cadence. Whereas the repurposed videos, it's like you are in the moment and you are just delivering straight from the heart. And so those videos, they position you so much better because people get to see you as the coach, you as the creator, just delivering. And that's what people need to see a lot of the times to be ready to buy from you, is how you show up and how you deliver, because anybody can promise to repurpose your content. Anybody can promise to scale your business. But do they vibe with you? Do they feel a connection to you? That's why video content is so important because it lets them vibe, it lets them connect. Let's get into my unpopular opinion on repurposing videos, and that is the use of third-party apps. I wish I could serve like a cease and desist to Repurpose.io because their name is misleading. It's not repurposing. What they do is they redistribute your content. Repurposing is to recreate your content. Do you see there's like a fine difference? Repurpose.io is this platform that you can set up kind of in a similar way to Zapier, in that anytime you post a TikTok, it'll trigger Repurpose.io and they will save your video to a Google Drive, or they will automatically post it to Pinterest or to YouTube Shorts or to Instagram. The problem with this is every platform has its own algorithm. Every platform has different requirements on the caption or description or whatever it's called on that platform, and especially for hashtags. And you shouldn't be posting the exact same video at the exact same time. Like, sorry, not sorry, it's annoying. When it comes to these third-party apps, the biggest thing for me is lack of lack of capitalization, I guess, on these on the other platform's algorithm. So, the way that a caption is written on TikTok, the way the description, whatever it's called, the description under your video, it's one big blurb of words on TikTok, and you put in all these hashtags. The way it works on Instagram is it's a formatted caption with spacing so it's easy to read. And the hashtags on TikTok are very different than the hashtags on Instagram. As much as I don't love hashtags anymore, and I do think they're going to be phased out in 2023 as we all move towards SEO. On TikTok, repurpose your content is a great hashtag for repurposing. On Instagram, that hashtag has like no views. It's not a common hashtag. If you're using the exact same TikTok caption on your Instagram, it's not going to yield the same results. Potentially, it's not going to yield any results, right? And the same thing goes for YouTube Shorts or Pinterest. Pinterest and YouTube Shorts both require captions, descriptions that have keywords and are specific to your niche and the platform itself, but also they Pinterest, no hashtags. YouTube, 1 to 2 hashtags. YouTube, it's like one sentence you have space for. So if you were actually just repurposing directly, there's a huge chance that whatever your TikTok description was, it's going to get cut off on YouTube. So it won't be a complete sentence, it won't make sense, it'll hurt your reach. Pinterest, maybe you can fit the whole thing, but Pinterest doesn't use hashtags and Pinterest requires SEO. So your TikTok description, again, maybe isn't going to help you in any shape or form, in which case I just refer back to I don't agree with third party platforms for redistributing your content. I think it's worth taking the 5 minutes to schedule out within Pinterest or within YouTube and make sure that your descriptions, your headlines, your captions, whatever it is on that platform makes sense. And again, back to the time delays. I do not like seeing the same thing on each platform same day. I think it's better to mix and match, to have things maybe like a week delayed or even 2 to 3 days delayed. Like Pinterest, okay, you can get away with, but Instagram, like chances are you have a lot of the same followers on TikTok and Instagram, depending on your strategy for those platforms. So if you're going to post the same thing, the same time, the same place, it gets redundant and people will either stop looking at one of your platforms or think that you don't provide value. It's not providing value if you're sharing the exact same thing at the exact same time on every platform. Yes, people need to hear the same thing again and again, but that's why repurposing is so important. They need it to be a little more creative than copy pasting. And I want to wrap this episode up by saying that video is not going anywhere. I have seen predictions so far for 2023 from Vanessa Lau and Rachel Peterson, both of them claiming that YouTube is going to be the giant next year. YouTube has always been the video giant, but I think with the introduction of TikTok and TikTok making more and more moves to compete with YouTube versus competing with Instagram, I think YouTube is upping their game. with the introduction of shorts. And honestly, YouTube has the best creator payout out of all the platforms by a landslide. I mean, Pinterest is quite good, but YouTube is the best one in comparison videos I've seen. And now with the introduction of shorts, if they make that payout platform a little bit better, like it's going to leave TikTok in the dust. Instagram, not even a blip on my radar right now. I've seen Rachel Peterson's was actually predicting that Instagram's going to die next year. I'm not sure I agree with that, just because Instagram does have the strength in their stories and their DM features being so heavily used and relied on, especially by business owners to build relationships. If TikTok would allow messaging for everyone, I think they could take out Instagram. But until they allow DMing without having both of you follow each other, I'm not sure about them right now, you know? But all of this to say is like video is not going anywhere, and short form video is going to continue to get bigger and bigger. YouTube's put out shorts. Pinterest has idea pins and video pins. Instagram has reels. TikTok is TikTok. But now even LinkedIn, people are posting their short form videos. Twitter, people are posting their short form videos. Facebook has reels, and I've heard amazing things about the Reels creator platform fund, whatever. If I was American, man, the things I would do if I was American, but we'll leave it there. I don't know why all of these creator platforms aren't open to Canadians. I would just like to say that because, like, demographically, there's so many similarities. And, like, me personally, my audience is very 50-50 American Canadian. Like, I'm sure that a lot of Americans have the same, that they're followed by a lot of Canadians. So I don't understand why all these platforms only give perks to Americans and not Canadians. And I'm sure like people across the world also don't like it. But like as a Canadian, I'm like, come on, what's the deal? But yeah, so all of that to say, basically our video repurposing package is exactly what you need. I'll drop the Valley Girl accent, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's our most popular package in the agency for good reason, because it's hard. It's hard to keep up with the short form video, the demand and the popularity. It is just growing day by day by day. I see people saying post 2 times a day, post 1 time a day, post every day of the week. But it's also a matter of like, yeah, record the trends, which take 5 seconds, but you also need to be putting out the thought leadership content. And do you have time to sit down and script out all of these videos, at least 7 a week, to be able to keep up with your schedule? No. So that's where taking your past masterclasses. I've had clients bring me masterclasses from like a year ago, like 2021 masterclasses, and returning into reels, and they are working. They are bringing in leads, they are sparking conversations. Our clients love these repurposed videos. So if you've been thinking about it, if you want to put more emphasis on video in 2023, I strongly recommend you head to the link in our bio. Strongly recommend you download our service guide, check it out, come into my DMs, ask me if you have any questions. You can send me an email too if you prefer. But fill out the application on our website to get started working with us. The way our agency works is that we do rolling enrollment. So you can either have a December start or you can have a January start. I am not going to say that there's a certain amount of spots left, blah, 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 because who knows at the time that you're listening to this what the deal is. I just recommend that you send me a message and we have a conversation to see, like, do we have the space for you and when do you want to get started? And if you haven't, go back and listen to the last episode, Why the Intention of Your Content Matters. I think it will really help you with understanding, again, a little deeper from a different angle, why video repurposing is so important and how it's just going to help you more and more. And that's all I have for you on this episode of Felly's Fishbowl. If you enjoyed listening, please leave a review, rate, subscribe, whatever it is that your listening platform asks you to do for the shows that you love. Yes, I winked when I said that. If you head down to our show notes, you'll be able to check out our service guide and see a little bit more what it's like to work with Felly Day VA. You can also follow us on Instagram at FellyDayVA and Felly's Fishbowl. And please, if you listened and want to share it, tag us. I love to know who's listening and learning along with the show. And we will chat soon.